We're launching the 28 days, the countdown to Christmas. So we're beginning the series talking about the flight to Egypt. Joseph got a dream, and an angel's warning him it's time to go. And the idea here is it's fresh from the visit of the Magi. And so they've got all these riches with them, and now they have to leave. And now, still recovering from delivery, they're off in the middle of the night, finding a caravan, I guess, finding some camels, and they're heading to Egypt. Jesus, almost killed by Herod, returning to Egypt, where babies were killed 1,500 years earlier.
And what's so fascinating, of course, I've had kind of two halves to my career: pastoral ministry and then mission work. And my mission work has been in Africa. And if I want to get a bunch of hearty amens at any church in Africa, all I got to do is say that the continent of Africa welcomed the baby Jesus. To me, it starts underscoring at the earliest moments of the gospel. And Luke has a little more detail, Luke and Matthew both, but Luke has a lot of detail in that, about Jesus and the outsiders. What the Gospels are telling us is this Messiah is not just a Jewish thing. This is about everybody, including those that are in the margins.
Yeah, and here Jesus is in exile, going to Africa.
He's an illegal immigrant in Africa. If we're just imagining these things, I like to think, what in the world did Mary's dad think? He would have been ready to kill Joseph, doing that to his daughter and his grandson.
Yeah. Well, what did anybody think during this time? There were so many things happening, and a conjecture that maybe while they were praying, as their flight in the night, maybe they're praying a psalm of safety. And so it shows in the 91st Psalm, and I want to read from the 91st Psalm, verses 9 through 13. Psalmist says, "If you say the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you. No disaster will come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent." Those could have been some comforting words to people feeling like they're just a victim of the system.
Many of the Psalms were used by pilgrims, and they would sing them and pray them. And we often separate prayer from worship. We pray and then we sing. But in the Hebrew mind, they were really one and the same. They prayed their prayers, sang their prayers, and they would be praying the Psalms. And so Psalm 51 would absolutely have been in their mind and their memory. Absolutely. God used that. And so God inspired the Psalms to be the prayer/praise book of the people of God. And it's been that for, 3,000 to 3,500 years.
I love the idea of them running from Herod and yet singing about the angels protecting you and being able to not only step on a cobra, step on a serpent, which probably would describe Herod, but even trampling a lion. Like you can trample anything if the Lord has you under his wing.
Several years ago, we had a horrible tragedy or situation in our family where my 4.5-year-old granddaughter was kidnapped and miraculously rescued. And though my daughter-in-law was brutally attacked, and I don't want to go into that, but and God delivered in a remarkable way. But when we were flying through the middle of the night, we did not know if my granddaughter was alive. We didn't know if my daughter-in-law would survive. It was the longest, 2-hour flight in my life to get to Chicago and then get to the East Coast. And I was fumbling on my phone desperately for something just to get my attention away from the absolute despondency I was feeling. And it came across a song by the a cappella group Selah that was based in a psalm, "You are my hiding place. You always fill my heart with songs of deliverance. Whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you." And I played that song on my iPhone probably 10 times in a row. And in those moments, that song, that psalm gave voice to what I was feeling and actually enabled me to not lose my mind
Mhm.
during that time. That's a whole other story.
Yeah.
God brought great resolution and great deliverance, but the Psalms can, at that moment of absolute despair, can bring not just voice to my complaints, but can put me in the trajectory toward seeing that God actually is in control.
No, thank you for that.
For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, and gross darkness the people. But the